rugged, non-traditional family, or some other version. In the West, we have the same rot festering right below the soil. The same disease, different plants. And that is the disease of self being the most important thing. This book is me putting a stake in the ground and saying, I'm out. Consider this my formal request for independence against the typical Western family story that creates consumption monsters. We are built to consume, to hoard, to stockpile, to fight for our rights, to get what's ours, to only use our family as a launching pad for the individual success of ourselves. Now, most of our families look like something out of Lord of the Flies, and we feel it too. Home is not a safe place. It's crushing us. We feel overwhelmed and overworked. Chaos is our new normal. But hey, we had at least one cute Instagram-worthy moment at the park with our kids, so that's enough, right? There has to be a better way. But let's be clear, I'm not teaching you how to start a new country. Now, what do I mean by that? Our founding fathers declared independence in 1776, but the Constitution didn't come until 1787, 11 years later. So the founding fathers knew what they didn't want 11 years before they knew what they wanted to be. The zeal and passion and declaration always come first before you have any shot of running a new country. You have to draw a line in the sand. They believed there was something fundamentally wrong with structuring government around a monarchy, so they rejected it and they cast a new vision. And guess what? They got the same critiques everyone else does when they step out in inexperience or young age. Quote, ha, yeah, right. You guys don't know how to start a new country, or you'll fail immediately, or you all haven't lived enough or long enough to know anything about how the government should work. And who knows? Perhaps even we would have made that critique of some of our founding fathers. I mean, did you know James Monroe, our fifth president, was 18 when he signed the Declaration of Independence? Alexander Hamilton, the first Treasury Secretary and an enormously large figure in our country's shaping, was 21. James Madison was 25, and the principal author, Thomas Jefferson, was only 33. They believed there was a new way forward, and they were willing to call out the status quo and believe there could be something better. This book draws a line in that sand. I know what we don't want, and I know the absolute center of the poison that's killing us all. And I'm rejecting it. There is something more, and there is something better. I see a better vision and a future and a promise found in the ancient texts of the scriptures, aka the Bible, that call us to a new place. So, as we go on this journey, join me in finding a completely new yet ancient way to do family, because it just might change everything. Chapter 1. A Recent History of Events. Downtown Jerusalem, the heart of Israel, Friday night. Just a few hours before, my wife, Alyssa, and I had gotten off a very long international flight from New York. This was my first time in Israel. And before we left the States, our friends, the Pryors, the ones who invited us, and were actually already there waiting for us, said, hey, meet us at this place in downtown Jerusalem when you land. And if you can't find it, just ask the cab driver. Our phones didn't work internationally, so we got into the cab at the airport with nothing but a name and a picture on our phone of a map. Surprisingly, it all still worked out, and we made it to the heart of Jerusalem, just a few blocks from Old Town. Now, I'm not quite sure what I was expecting Israel and Jerusalem to look like, but sadly, due to no context and too many sword and sandal Jesus-style movies, I was expecting the first century. But it was obviously the 21st century. And we rolled into a hustling, bustling metropolis that didn't seem much different from a Manhattan side street or a Seattle thoroughfare, with obvious differences of language and culture. So we pulled up to the curb where our friends and mentors were waving us down. It's still surreal to think we successfully met up with them in another country at a specific place and time with no way to communicate during our travels. But we did it. We walked up to their apartment with our huge bags in tow, then freshened up before joining them about an hour later for dinner. It was a common and normal and actually very familiar scene at the restaurant. There was Alyssa and I and a few other families, old, young, and kids running all around. There were plates of food, silverware, and all the normal signposts of things we basically do at dinners every night of our lives. It seemed like a typical meal. Then right when I was about to pick up my fork to start eating, the whole crew starts singing and yelling and hitting the table in unison. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. I had no idea what they were doing. Why were they doing it, and what they were saying, but within about half of a second, I was trying to phonetically and loudly repeat their words just because it felt right. I was yelling, hitting the table because I wanted in. All I knew was that